Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.
Hey fam, this is Zoe and it's another episode of Moments of Inspiration, and I'm so glad and elated that you've decided to click on that button and join me on today. I need for everybody to do me a quick favor. I would like everybody to subscribe and like and share this video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel that I have right now. If you could do me a favor and do that, that would be a great help. I have some major news coming up, so I want you to be tuned for that as well, okay? Well, today I have a brief lesson that I want to teach really quick on today, and it's simply a question actually, and it's this: what is your value? That's right, what is your value? A couple of months ago, I was watching some classic boxing matches, and to my ignorance, I never really knew about this particular match. I was watching some boxing matches from Ali, and he fought this guy named Chuck Wepner, and he was known as the Bayonne Bleeder. And the reason why they called Wepner the Bayonne Bleeder was because he was a street brawler, basically. He was willing to give up his body and allow you to beat him up and bloody him up so he could try to get the best of you. But anyway, he had an opportunity to fight Ali. Nobody expected him to be able to hang in there with the world champ. So while they were fighting, they went through round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rounds kept going on, and people are like, whoa, wait a minute. He's still sticking in there. What's going on? And to everybody's surprise, in round number 9, Wepner actually knocked Ali down. He sent a blow to his chest and Ali fell, and everybody was shocked and surprised that that even happened. Now, of course, Ali didn't mess around with him anymore. He ended up winning by a technical knockout in the 15th round, so let's don't get it twisted. But the lesson that I'm teaching today is nobody knew that this guy could stick in there with Ali for so long. And people were very inspired by his performance. And unbeknownst to him, there was a struggling actor sitting in the audience during this time. And he was so inspired by the show that Wepner put on that he went home and he wrote a movie script in just 3 days. That's right, 3 days. And the name of that struggling actor was Sylvester Stallone. And the name of that script is the movie that we know today as Rocky. That's right. And so we're talking about value on today, and I want to share with you what Sylvester Stallone had to go through to get that done. He sent that script to a movie company. They loved the idea, and they offered him $360,000 for that idea. Now, at this time, Sylvester Stallone was broke. He even sold his dog to pay his bills. That's how broke he was. But Sylvester Stallone understood his value, and he didn't think that anybody could play the part of Rocky like he could. Now, they offered him $360,000 for that script under the condition that they got another actor to do it, such as a Burt Reynolds, and there were some other ones at that time. But he was willing to bet on himself. And so the movie company begrudgingly gave in. They didn't give him all that money they were going to give him. They gave him $1 million, which is way under budget to shoot a movie, to get the movie done. So he had to get friends and associates and family to play parts in the movie so that he can pull it off. And he did pull it off. And so because he understood his value, because he was not willing to settle, today the Rocky franchise is worth over $1.4 billion with a B dollars. They gave him $1 million budget to do the entire movie, which was minimum wage, and then he turned it into $1.4 billion franchise. And so what am I telling you? You have to understand your value. Nobody else can give it to you. You have to understand it. And people will respond to what you give off to them. And that's very important to understand that. And I just have one principle here. Number one, you have to be willing to bet on yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to trust what God has put in you. Yeah, God has placed something in all of us that is of value. And that's why you can't lower your value, lower your standards for anybody, whether it's a relationship or whatever the case is. You have to know and you have to understand your value in and of yourself. And with that being said, with trusting what God has already placed in you, it's important to understand that He commands us to use the talent that He's given us. And not only that, He commands us to multiply the gifts and the talents and the abilities that He's given us. That is a command. God doesn't like laziness. He doesn't like us wasting things. He hates that. He despises that. So it's important that we find out what He's placed on the inside of us and recognize that you are valuable. You are an A-lister in God's sight. But it's important that we reflect that so that others can respond to the value that we know that we have. So I have a lot more to talk about, but I have a small amount of time. So I want you to remember this one thing. God has placed value on the inside of you, and it's important that we use it and that we multiply it. And just like Sylvester Stallone, there are some opportunities that may come your way that will make you shortchange yourself. Let's remember the value that we have on the inside of us. Let's dig in, let's use it, and let's multiply it. Let's remember that this week. Remember that something good is going to happen to you. I love you, and don't forget to subscribe and like my YouTube channel. God bless. Peace.
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.